Well, I hummed and hawed about filming this or not, because really we're scraping paint. I've chose the hottest day we've had in weeks to start back doing this.
So Dawn's back out on the outbuilding repairs, and we're really up against it today.
Good morning. Right, well, I hummed and hawed about filming this or not, because really we're scraping paint. But then I thought, well, this is probably quite a good opportunity to explain why we're scraping blue paint off the walls, rather than just going with taking the plaster off. And the reason is, on a whole, we've been quite lucky with it being lime on every wall in this house, bar patches here and there that have been repaired over the years. The blue paint that we're taking off is, I think we said before, emulsion, vinyl silk, and it's, if you know anything about lime, it shouldn't have non-breathable paint over the top of it. Underneath all the blue is lime wash, as far as we can tell, just from rubbing over it, or distemper. I'm not really sure how you tell the difference, to be honest. I've read about distemper, I don't really know what it is, but I do know what lime wash is.
It always sounds like an illness to me, distemper.
Yeah, it does. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
There is an illness that is very similar. What's it called?
Yeah, distemper. Sounds like an illness. Anyway, sorry, as you were.
It will come to me at some point, and it will just pop out. I don't know. So yeah, anyway, I decided it might be worth filming it, because I can then explain a bit. The plan is we keep all of the walls intact, so that we don't have to take it off, mate, for two reasons. One, it's a lot cheaper for us to repair bits and pieces that need repairing, rather than taking it all off and then having the cost of redoing every single wall. And two, because it's quite sound, it doesn't seem that it needs to be taken off. So we're getting rid of any old modern paint, and any patches that might have gypsum plaster or bits of cement that have repaired patches. It is a long, laborious process. I've done the hall, landing, stairs so far, and I think this is the last blue room, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is our last blue room to do, and we might actually be able to pick away at this strange fireplace at the same time. But anyway, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a reason why, and we won't bore you with the whole of us picking off every little tiny little bit of blue paint, but it just gives you a little bit of an idea of why we're doing this, rather than taking it off back to bare stone. So, eagle-eyed amongst you might see, I've just changed the top. I've chose the hottest day we've had in weeks to start back doing this. I said a couple of videos back, it might have been the most recent, anyway, that it's been a funny old few weeks, and it really has been a funny few weeks. Don't know if it's the time of year, the fact that it's a year that we've been doing this. It's been a little bit of a struggle the last few weeks. Lost a little bit of motivation, and you generally wait for it to come back and it comes back, and this didn't anyway. So I've given myself a kick up the backside again today, and I'm back starting. I'm not sure, can we see it? Yes, you can see it. The end, you will have seen me just removing the loose stones, getting rid of the dust, and just measuring up for what will be the big one running through there. I'm obviously going to fix these bits first, but that one I'd like to have an idea of where it sits for the bits that go beneath it. So I've done the mix, and then I will just get on, and I will sit you down somewhere so you can watch me and ah over everything. Hello, Alan. Where are you going? Mr. Malin?
So Dawn's back out on the outbuilding repairs, and we're really up against it today. With leaks from last year having about 3/4 of a metre of rainfall, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. County Kerry had just under 2 metres of average rainfall last year. That's bonkers amount of rain, isn't it? We've bought a pop-up canopy so Dawn can then carry on liming and doing whatever she's doing. We've got a yellow weather warning for rain, which should have started about 4 o'clock this morning, but the rain is just starting, so we are up against it. If you've seen our wheelbarrow video, you're going to know anything could happen. The only thing that shouldn't happen is it's got a puncture. Can't even open the box. I can't even get it out of the bag.
Opening the frame, attach canopy top.
So there we go. Again, as Annika Rice would say, stop the clock. But it will certainly make a big difference, especially if the heavens open and it lashes down with rain as it's supposed to. So a little bit more successful than the wheelbarrow.
Yeah. And quicker.
And quicker than the wheelbarrow. By what felt like about
3 days.
3 days, yeah. So that's good. The bedroom we took, you've seen that, we took a little bit more paint off. Back outside because the weather was nice yesterday, so Dawn's now carrying on with the outbuilding repairs. This is how it currently stands, but nowhere
Yeah, that's
just in there at the moment.
the stone that's probably going to be used, but it's too long.
Yeah,
That needs cutting down.
but already it just looks so much better. So we're quite excited to see this once it's finished and square, and this top little bit's rebuilt as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that, because we actually didn't cause that damage, we just caused the roof to fall in.
Yeah.
The rest of the damage,
The only thing that's happened since really has been the top part of that wall dropped.
oh, in that corner, yeah,
Other than that, everything else was already
as it was.
as it is.
Yeah. But there we go, that's at the moment.
Yes.
But the wind is picking up.
Yeah, I'll get that down.
Yeah,
actually.
we'll get that down, and the gazebo does have ropes, guy ropes, to hold it down to the floor. And the handy thing with having all of these gigantic stones is when you put a rope around that, the stones aren't going anywhere. So there we go, it's up. We've chucked it on a foot there just to stop it from touching the top of the wall there. It's 3 meters by 3 meters, I think. So that gives a really good working space in all weathers. And it looks like we've just beaten the rain as well. So today I'm going to be trying to chop a little bit more off that root outside the outbuilding. I've just put some petrol and chain oil into the chainsaw. Chainsaws are completely new to me. I've had a little bit of a play I've watched a lot on the internet, and also had the farmer neighbour guy give me a little bit of a rundown. Now I do know the chain's loose, that needs tightening up a little bit, so I'm just going to do that. The chain that was supplied, or two chains that were supplied with the chainsaw, the reviews did say they get blunt really quickly, so I invested in just a cheap chain sharpener. The chainsaw did come with a file, and you have to do it by hand, and I think you have to know what you're doing. So I've gone with a cheap chainsaw sharpener, which basically you drop it on the blade over. I'm not sure what it's called actually. No, I don't know. I'll put that up somewhere here. And you literally screw a little handle and sharpen it. So I'll just show you a little bit of that, and I'll tighten the chain as well. So the tension of the chain, this is too loose. So what happens is you run the risk of your chain, it's called the bar, I've just remembered. You run the risk of it coming off the bar and your chain flying off, which isn't good. So I've watched several videos on the best tension for the chain. And like I say, I'm new to this, but you live and learn. But what we've got to do is loosen the bar off a little bit, because you don't actually tighten the chain, you move the bar, which in turn tightens the chain. Right. Now it says about raising the tip, so what have I got that's going to go under there? Maybe something. There we go. So raise that. So the adjuster's just in here, and basically when you tighten this up, it moves the bar outwards or inwards depending on which way you turn it. Right, so what I've learned is that's too tight. Basically the chain should just have enough tension in it to hold itself in place up against the bottom of the bar. So just a fraction too loose. There we go. And then tighten the bar back up again. So there's lots of these on the market, loads of different ones from Amazon. Now if you were to do it probably the way a professional chainsaw person does it, you get a file, you stick it in the tooth and you sharpen it. That way though, you've got to have the angle right and everything else. This way makes it much easier, certainly for me. So you have a guide, and that guide just sits on there like that. A carbon tipped, we call it a file, it's a carbon tipped bit on a crank. You line it up with your tooth of your chainsaw, and then after a lot of faffing around, basically you sharpen each tooth.
Right, so that's the last little bit in that patch I opened up the other day. So then the next piece, just working my way up, is this bit here, and that is there, the top. So this section next, or this whole section really, and then I'll move on up to that piece.
So chopping through it, just straight through it, isn't an option. If you've not watched any of the root videos before, when the tree was growing, this is all root, this isn't tree, this is the root of the tree. The tree originally sort of started there, that's what was visible. So that was cut off, the wall was taken down, and now is now. So this is actual root that you're looking at. As it grew, it took up stones within it, so I can't just go straight in with the chainsaw, otherwise I'll be sharpening it every 2 seconds. Over the back here is another stone which I clipped earlier and then obviously sharpened the blade again. We got stone in here, and even cutting this little off root, there was stone in there as well. And the second you touch it with your chainsaw, your saw's blunt. So unfortunately it's not just a case of going through it. And what really surprised me is it is rock hard. I expected a chainsaw just to chop through wood really quickly, and it does, but I suppose being a root, it's even harder than what the tree trunk would be. I could be wrong. So really I'm just making a mess of it on purpose in any direction I can, trying to avoid the stones, slowly getting there. The chainsaw drinks petrol like it's going out of fashion, so I've now got to go and get some more chain oil, 2-stroke oil. So I'll get that, I'll come back and I'll carry on, but ultimately I think I'm getting there bit by bit. So there we go. That looks like a really good repair so far. Are you pleased?
Yes. Not pleased with that, but it is what it is.
See,
and it's going to be whitewashed at some point anyway.
I think it looks alright.
I'm pleased with this bit.
Yeah.
That
bit.
Not so sure about that bit.
Well, considering this was a big hole.
Yeah.
And now it's not.
Yeah. No, on a whole.
Getting there.
Pleased.
Getting there.
Yeah.
Well, we've run out of time for...
Yeah, and charge on there.
And charge, yeah, right, for this video.
Oh, what's going on with my hair?
Oh, it's fine. The chainsawing is just ongoing. Like I say, I can't believe how hard that root is. So I keep sharpening the blade and having another go, and sharpening the blade and having another go. And you're continuing with this?
Yep.
Over the weekend?
Yep. Build up some
on
more
the top.
On that side, yeah.
Yeah.
And just...
And the canopy's working well?
Work
Not that we've had
around.
a lot of rain.
No, it's been alright actually, hasn't it? It's not been bad at all.
And it's still here. It's not been that windy
well,
though,
no.
or rainy.
No, it has not been put to the test just yet.
No, I'm sure it'll come.
Mm.
So there we go. That's us. Thank you so much for watching. We got 3 new channel members, and I'm going to put your names on the screen
Yeah,
because
I don't remember.
I can't remember. So I am sorry. I might even put a voiceover or a special edit. But we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.